Hello. So I'm going to give you a quick video here on how you can make a box and whisker plot using Google Sheets. You can do something similar in Excel, and I hear from people it's easier in Excel, but we are a Chrome world in our school, so we're going to be using Google Sheets. So I'm going to give you some data here. This is just a sample data set for my students. You're going to have a different data set, so this is not the one. Now, I've already sorted my data from least to greatest just because I like to see it. But the way I did that was I highlighted the data, right-clicked, and then view more, cell actions, and there should be a sort range down there. Now, if it wasn't already sorted, you would click here, make sure it's least to greatest. That's usually how people like to sort things. Pretty obvious now who the max and min are. However, in Google Sheets, they have, just like in Excel, pre-programmed functions. So when you want to pull up a command, a couple different ways, but I like to do it by pulling up an equal sign, and then it switches to like function mode, you'll notice up here. And then to command the Google Sheets to find the minimum value in a data set, you can pull up the command minimum, which is min, select it, and then you can just highlight your whole data. You can also click the first one, I think hold shift and click down to the last, it'll do the same thing. It depends on how annoying it is to grab all your data. So once I do that and close the function, it obviously tells me that minimum was 20. That's not really a shock. Now for Q1, again, there's a command. So I'm going to pull up an equal sign, and then I think we start typing quartile, yeah. So you're going to pull up the same data set again. Now, if you remembered that it was A2 to A20, you could have just typed that. But before you close the command, also hit a comma. And then because we want the first quartile, you're going to want to put the number 1 after that. So apparently 100 is the cutoff for the first quartile. Cool, cool. Same idea. We're pulling up a command for median. So median is a command. Choose it. Highlight your data. Again, I could have just typed it. You could also drag the formula over. You might have to adjust some things when you do that though. All right, quartile 3 this time. So pull up the command for quartile, hold your data, and don't forget to remember to change it to quartile 3 this time. And then of course I can see the max is 500, but if you had a huge data set and you didn't feel like going through it, you can pull up the command for max. Again, I don't need to do that because I can see it, but yeah, sure enough, it's 500. So you'll notice me as your teacher, I'm going to go in when you submit your work to me, and I'm going to make sure that you have properly pulled up the commands for at least Q1, median, and Q3. That's one of the things that I'm kind of testing you on in this project is, are you using your technology properly? Now, in theory, you could have typed all these into a calculator, but why? Why would you do that? That's my question. So now to make the box and whisker plot, what you're going to do is you're going to highlight the data pieces, but also this heading of data. I think it requires you to highlight that part. I don't really know why, and I don't care to know why. I'm just going to do it. Inserting a chart, there's a little icon here for it. I think you can right click on it as well. And it's, oh, you know what? It knew it was a box and whisker plot. Now you'll notice when you go to chart type, there's a lot of chart types. This guy here, they call it a candlestick chart. That is what some sciences and other uses for this call it, is a candlestick chart, which, is cute and interesting. But it already kind of knew because of my data setup that I was working with a box and whisker plot, so it chose that. Now I'm going to want you to have a little bit of artistic freedom here and making this look pretty. So you're going to want to adjust some things. Maybe you can play with the colors if you want, but this is what I'm really worried about. There's like no title and we need to figure out what's going on here. You want to decide if your font looks good. You can change it, like I said, the color. The axes, I would like you to label them properly. I'm not going to do that here because that's actually part of your rubric for grading. I want you to make sure you label all your axes, and then you can play around with the grid lines a little bit. You can click minor grid lines, and that'll allow you to kind of read it a little easier. You could change the tick marks on graphs, major and minor tick marks. There shouldn't be any minor tick marks. Or, yeah, I guess there could be. And then I think that's all I need to show you. So have fun with this one. At some point, I'm going to ask you to basically take a snip or a screenshot of this. I know on your Chromebooks, you guys probably know how to do screenshots. Just do the best you can. I really just want the chart, and that's what I want you to bring over to your final document. But I am going to go back to your Google Sheet that I provide to you and check out your formula usage. All right, good luck, everybody.